Today what we're doing is we are going to get started on the perpendicular lines investigation worksheet. So this one's very similar to yesterday's activity. The only thing was yesterday it was parallel lines, and today it's going to be perpendicular lines. So again, you're still following the same steps pretty much and answering like very similar questions. So first thing you want to do is plot all of your points. And just like yesterday, so I know it says here for our directions, graph the points and use a ruler to draw the line that passes through them. Use the designated colors to draw each line. So I know we're all working from home here. Some of you may not have those colors. That is fine. It's okay. You can use different colors and you can cross it off. Like if you don't have blue, but you have red, you can cross off the word blue and you can write red or any other colors. Or you can even just label it like we did here. Like this one is labeled with C, this one's A, this one's B, and you can do it like that too. But instead of A, B, C, you could just say blue, purple, orange. Whatever is easiest for you to help you kind of see it, that is fine with me. That's going to be the first thing. And if you don't have a ruler, just try your best to draw it as straight line as you can when you're doing this, okay? And for perpendicular lines, so just to kind of review yesterday, parallel lines, this is kind of what it looks like here. It's two lines that never touch. Perpendicular lines, they create some sort of right angle. So perpendicular lines, they intersect. There's some sort of right angle somewhere in there where they intersect is what perpendicular lines would look like. Okay, I'm not going to be doing this for you, but if you have questions or you get stuck on something, I can work with you afterwards or work with you one-on-one individually. But let's go on to page 2 after you plot your points and everything. And then it's going to give you, it has the equations for lines A, B, and C. Then your next step is to write the equations for your 3 colored lines, the blue, purple, and orange. What I recommend doing first is writing M equals B equals, and then you're going to plug that into Y equals MX plus B. Same thing for all of these. M equals B equals, Y equals MX plus B. You're doing that for all of those. And you just change out M and B. You plug in your 2 pieces of information to get your 3 new equations for the colored lines. And then you'll be able to see what your 3 equations are here for the 3 colored lines, and then your 3 equations for the 3 letters, the A, B, and C. Then you can answer these questions here. It's just asking you which line is perpendicular to A, and then it's going to say what are the equations of those 2 lines. So you would write this one, and then you would write one of these ones down here, whichever one is perpendicular. Whichever one crosses and forms a right angle, that one is perpendicular. You do that for questions 1, 2, and 3. It's just asking you which one's perpendicular to line A, line B, line C, and then you write down those 2 equations. Page 3. I think there's only 3 pages. Yep. Page 3, you're going to answer some of these questions. Some of them we might get some different answers from each person. That is fine. Your first question, what do you notice about the slopes in each pair of equations? Kind of just try and figure out and answer it the best you can. If I can understand what you're trying to say and it makes sense, then you're good. If you're just writing some nonsense down and you don't know, I can help you with it. Message me and we can work on it together, okay? And I think same next question. It's the same thing, but first one was talking about slopes. This one's talking about y-intercepts. Tell me if they're the same, they're different, positive, negative. Tell me just what you notice in general about your slopes and your y-intercepts for each of those equations from page 2. So you would look at this section to answer the questions on page 3. And number 6, what general statement can you make about the equations of perpendicular lines in relation to y equals mx plus b? You can kind of just combine these 2 statements, this one and this one. You would say kind of like if this, then, and this, then they are perpendicular lines. It's kind of how you can kind of form your sentence. Or you could say something like for lines to be perpendicular, the two things need to happen, this and this. You would write out your two little statements there is kind of how you could form that last one. But again, you might have different sentences. You might put it in a different format. That's okay. Put it in your own words. This section here says answer the following questions using the knowledge you gained from your investigation. So these first two questions, 1 and 2, there's a definite right or wrong answer. It's just asking you, are these two equations perpendicular to each other? Yes or no? You will then be able to identify and figure that out really easily from answering all those previous questions. Same thing for number 2. Are these two equations perpendicular? Yes or no? Use the information that you did from before to help you answer the question. Yes or no? And then your last two, again, we're going to have different types of answers. First one says name 3 lines that are perpendicular, and then the last one that are not perpendicular. Okay, we're going to have a bunch of different types of answers there. There's going to be one thing in particular that I'm looking at, which you will realize and figure out what I'm going to be looking at. Once you notice the pattern from up here and you answer these questions here, you'll see kind of and figure out and understand what I'm going to be looking for. Okay, so that's pretty much what you're working on. I'm going to go back to the first page here. If you have questions and you want to work on this, you can send me a message. I can work with you one-on-one, but overall, pretty much I want you guys to try and do this on your own. Just read the directions, go through step by step, and if you get stuck, send me a message and we can either have a Teams meeting one-on-one, or I can even message you back and forth through Schoology, or you can message me through Remind, and we can work on it together that way. But it's more of kind of like an individual investigation, or if you want to work with a partner, if you know someone else in the class, that's fine too. But yeah, like I said, if you get stuck, send me a message. And if not, go ahead and work on this for today. And tomorrow, there's no meeting tomorrow, because tomorrow, if you needed extra time to finish the activity from yesterday or today, tomorrow is your time to continue working on those two activities. So no meeting tomorrow, but I can still help you guys individually if you have questions, get stuck or anything. Just send me a message tomorrow too. Okay, but that is it. So if you have no questions for me or anything, you can go ahead and log out, and then we'll meet again. Today is Wednesday, so no meeting tomorrow. Then we'll meet again on Friday for the assignment that's on these two topics, the parallel and perpendicular. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop my recording here. So if you're leaving, bye guys, have a good day.